Sorry. All right, so if you guys have a notebook or something to jot some stuff down, this will definitely be helpful, but I wanted to talk a little bit about employee versus CEO mindset today. So obviously, I think something we can all relate to is either, a lot of you guys are still working that 9 to 5, or all of us have been there. So it's something that even though I've been a business owner for, not just with Monty, but I've been, doing my own businesses for like the last 3 years, I still find myself getting caught in the employee mindset. So we're going to kind of go through what the difference is and how you guys need to kind of shift that mindset, because as an employee, you guys don't have a whole lot of, you know what I mean? It's not really like your vision. So it's not a lot of motivation to really, get a clear plan, to really set big goals, to really start looking into the future, because it's someone else's, it's someone else's goals and someone else's dreams. And unfortunately, a lot of times, like, you are kind of in the background in the 9 to 5 environment. And so I think when switching to being a business owner, it's easy for us to kind of stay in that mindset and think, I'm not going to see too far in the future. I'm not going to set super clear goals. Like, I'll just go with the flow. I'll just show up every day and just kind of do it. And that's not at all how you run a business. It's completely different, guys. So we're going to talk about that. The first thing that's really, really important is you have to be a self-motivated person if you're a business owner. So when you have a set schedule for a 9 to 5 and you walk in and, you know that you're going to be there 9 to 5, your set tasks that you have to do, and you have a boss that's holding you accountable, it's a little different than when you're working your own business and you have to motivate yourself, get yourself out of bed in the morning, find ways to really hold yourself accountable. And that's a whole different thing that we are going to go into. Hold on 1 second, because my dogs are... Okay, sorry guys, I just wanted to shut my door because my dogs are being crazy and I don't want you guys to have to hear that. But I wanted to, so you have to basically realize that there's no set schedule and there's no boss telling you what to do here. So that looks like creating a game plan for yourself every single day. That looks like doing the personal development to make sure that you're motivated, that you're in the right mindset, that you're ready to do this every single day, because you have your upline, you have the girls to hold you accountable, but we can't work the business for you. It's not really the same thing as like a boss holding you accountable for your goals because they need you there. It's like, it's really your business, and it's up to you here to how much you take it seriously, how much you care about doing this. So that's just something that you guys need to really understand. And that's why we kind of preach personal development. There are days where you're going to get really burnt out. There are days where you're going to hear no, or have girls who are, not so interested in joining you, or just have, maybe shit hits the fan in your personal life. Personal development, getting yourself back into that right mindset. And that goes into being, self-disciplined, which we will talk about in a second. But the next point that I wanted to talk about is, this is kind of like the first thing I was saying, is when you're an employee, you're much more in the background. So, right, you're not really steering the ship. You're not making the vision here. You're kind of going along with someone else's vision. So here you have to understand that you guys are steering the ship here. So this is on you to develop that clear vision. It's not on anyone else. So you guys have to get clear with yourselves and with what you want here, and really develop a very, very clear vision of what you want. So what that looks like is setting specific goals. So not just, this financial freedom sounds great. I'm so excited to take on this business. Like, can't wait to see where it takes me. Like, that's great, but you need to get really specific with your goals. Maybe it's in 6 months from now, I want to be able to either take time off at my 9 to 5 or quit my 9 to 5. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's my game plan. Here's what I'm going to do each week to make it happen. Here's where I want to be at the end of the month. Like, these need to be specific goals, a clear vision that you have for yourself, because like I said, there's no one else who's going to have that vision for you. How could anyone have that vision for your life, right? It's you. So even your upline, even if you explain it to them, it's your vision. It's how seriously you take it, how clear you are with your vision. So it's really not like, you have to understand, this kind of goes into the next point. It is all on you as a business owner. So as an employee, a lot of you might have a lot of responsibilities, but a lot of the more heavy stuff kind of falls on the CEO. And here, you're everything. So you get to deal with customer service. You get to deal with promoting your business. You get to deal with helping other girls in the business. You have to deal with setting your schedule. You have to deal with planning. You have to deal with shipping samples if you want to. Like, it all falls on you here. So it's very, very different than just showing up and having a set of tasks given to you. These are tasks that you, like I said, that's why planning is so important. You'll have to kind of learn how to create those tasks for yourself. And we have income producing activities that we talk about a lot, that you guys should be doing every day. And if you don't know what they look like, you can reach out to me or your upline and we'll tell you. But just basically, just knowing that all of it does fall on you when it's your business. So the next thing that I wanted to go over is 5 mindset shifts that you guys need to have, switching from employee to CEO mindset. So the first things first, one second, let me take a sip of my coffee. The first things first is you need to learn to think outside of the box. This kind of just goes along with like setting those big goals, learning to, just be creative with your business, be excited and think out of the box with your goals and where you want to take this and where you can really go with this, and be excited and realize that it's going to be a little bit different than the conventional, traditional, 9 to 5 environment. But so you're going to have to think outside of the box when it comes to your business. And this kind of goes hand in hand with point 2, which is something we just talked about, which is developing both long and short-term goals. So like I said, those goals that you have for maybe like the end of your month or the end of your week, so those are great as well. But long-term goals, like I know for me, I have like a 6-month goal that I want for this business, which is to be making $10,000 a month and then to be at associate executive director. And then I have a 12-month goal, which is to be making like 5-6 figures a month and at senior executive director. And I have very specific goals and a specific game plan of how I'm going to get there. And I'm thinking about it way before it's even in the books of happening for me, guys. Like, if you looked at where you need to be to get to those ranks that I want to be at and to be making that amount of money, am I close? Not really. Am I going to get there? Absolutely. Because that's how you guys have to talk about your goals. Start thinking about them way before, you're where you want to be. Because your mind has to be at the destination before you are. Okay. So if you don't start thinking about getting to where you want to be. If you don't start thinking, I'm going to be at whatever rank, I'm going to be making this, I'm going to be doing this here, you're not going to be there. Mindset comes first. So start developing those long-term goals that you want and start talking about them now. So the next mindset shift is, and this is something that we just talked about, but realizing that it's all on your shoulders. This is like a really good point. It's, if you think about it, an employee, if you go to work and you have a bad day, say you come in, you're really pissed off, you had a really bad day at home, okay, which been there, okay, and then you get to work, guess what? Are you still going to get paid even if you had a bad day? Yeah, you're still going to get the 9 to 5, those hours paid for. It doesn't matter if you come in pissed, doesn't matter if you had a bad day, doesn't matter if business is slow at the job, you're still going to get your paycheck. Here, no. If you have a bad day, you're not getting paid. It's completely dependent on, are you in the right mindset? Are you showing up as the best version of yourself? If not, harsh reality, you're not getting paid. You're going to stay very stagnant in the business if you're not ready to develop into that best version of yourself here. And that's really, really, really important. It's being resilient. No, like, you have to be able to pick yourself up here as a business owner. You have to realize, like, this is your business. When, like, your upline, yes, we're here to help you. But at the end of the day, when shit hits, like I said, when shit hits the fan in your personal life, when you're stressed out about your 9 to 5 job, when you're fighting with your boyfriend, when whatever the excuses that I constantly hear in this business, pick yourself up and keep going. Mindset, personal development. You're a business owner, and business owners don't show up to the business place with excuses. They know that you have to be resilient and you have to pick yourself back up. And it's not to say that we don't have an amazing team to rely on and to get support and advice from, but picking yourself back up is at the end of the day, it's going to fall on you. So the last 2 points. Number 4 is something we just talked about as well. Everything is your job and responsibility. I would still jot that down. And this also goes back to, like, when you start to bring on a team of girls and you start to have people relying on you, and say your girls are really not doing well in the business, or your business partners are really unmotivated, or they're going really slow, or they're making a lot of excuses, or they're barely showing up, it all falls back on you. Because the number one thing I've learned, and I do a lot of, I listen to a lot of MFCEO podcasts, a lot of leadership trainings, and the number one thing that they say is, like, as a business owner, there's some part of it that falls back on you, and the blame is always a little bit on you, because you can always ask yourself, okay, if I'm bringing on a bunch of girls onto this business who are unmotivated, who are making excuses, who have terrible mindsets, who don't really want to put in the work here, are you reflecting that? Are you that same person? Because you attract exactly who you are here. Exactly who you are. And that's why I'm saying personal development, if you are not the best version of yourself, get ready for it. You're going to attract those same exact people. And I have been there. I thought in the beginning, I'll show up 50% for my business, and it's just I'm going to do so well here. It's a get rich quick type of thing. I'm good. It's so easy. Let's do this. I'll bring on girls. I'll give them 50%. It's their job. Let them just do it. No, it's not how it works, because guess what? My team died, and so did my business. And I had to restart over from ground level. So if you can take anything from me, just realize, like, now that if you're able to develop these positive habits and you're able to set a game plan for yourself, be consistent, realize that the responsibility is on you, and take that responsibility and embrace it and run with it, and realize that this is totally yours and how exciting that is and how you should take advantage of that. You're going to be okay here, guys. It's not hard, but you have to put in the consistent work, if that makes sense. And not everyone's willing to do that. Not everyone's willing to check themselves and say, hey, you know what? I've been super slow in this business. It's on me. I have been not showing up the way I wanted to. I've been letting my personal life get to me. It's on me. Those girls, any day I would love to work with, because it's personal accountability. How many times do you guys think that I have to do that in my business? It happens all the time. Tori, my upline's on this call. I cannot tell you how many times I've come to her and been like, dude, help me. Like, I'm stuck. What am I doing? And she'll call me right out. She'll be like, why are you being so negative? What happened to that girl who was so positive about doing this? And it's like just about checking yourself and realizing that it's always, there is a part of it that falls back on you. So the last point for mindset shifts is being focused and positive. So, you know, we kind of went over this a lot, but being focused means eliminating distractions. So Jacqueline was talking about this on the training the other night, but basically, like, whether it be maybe you're someone who likes to come home from work and, like everyone else, chill on the couch and watch Netflix for a few hours before you pass out. Turn your TV off, unplug your TV if you're not where you want to be in the business, and just work your business for a few hours. You know, like if you're that type of person where you can't, and I will be totally real with you, I'm that type of person. I am not a, like just a badass, super motivated person. I have to get myself there every single day. Like, I would love to just chill on the couch and watch Netflix and call it a day and let that be my day. Trust me, guys. But like, I've had to kind of be like, even like with my boyfriend when he comes home from work, just like removing a few distractions, setting boundaries. Like, yeah, we can hang out, but I have calls I need to do and I want to work my business for an hour and a half because that makes me feel good about putting that time in, and just kind of like being focused. You know, you have to realize that, like, is this a priority for you or is it not? And if it's not, that's totally fine, but that's going to reflect in how much you make. So, the last thing that I wanted to go over is 5 tips for being a successful business owner. So these might be kind of redundant on the stuff we just went over, but just jot them down. I think that they should be really helpful. The first one is self-discipline. This is something we just talked about. Something I've written down is successful people make habits of doing things that unsuccessful people won't do. So successful people make habits of not like, don't think you guys cannot have a life outside of this, but I would say that I cancel plans and stay in more than the average 23-year-old. Does that make sense? Because I'm willing to do that at 23 to live my life at 30 the way that most 30-year-olds are still fucking struggling to live like. That's just the mindset of a business owner. So successful people make habits of, you know, just doing things like that, again, unsuccessful people don't do. Maybe it's setting a whole day out to plan your business. Maybe it's making business cards. Maybe it's going out of your way to make like a bulletin board with your goals on it. Just doing those things that normal people would be like, oh, it's stupid. I don't feel like doing that. Like, what's that even going to do for me? I don't feel like writing down my goals. Like, that's not going to help me. If you will go that extra mile and do those things that other people just chalk off as like not worth it, game over. You are already above so many people in this business. So the next thing is integrity. This is something I've written down. This is super important. Your success is how many people that trust you. Your success is completely dependent on that. It's dependent on being genuine, being honest, and people knowing that you're someone that they can come to and that they can trust. I would tell you that I would say, like, I hear all the time from my market partners, and I actually hear a lot of times like, oh, I've been offered to work with Monat by a few other girls, or I've been offered to try the products by a few other girls, but I decided to go through you because I trust you. Or I decided to go through you to buy the products because I know that you would never promote something you didn't like. I totally trust you. I hear that all the time. Literally. I have girls who have been approached 5, 10, 15 times from other girls. They come to me because they trust me. So if you guys, like, you know, you just have to develop that trust with people, and it comes with, like, this is going to be kind of a side note, but, you know, be picky in the stuff that you're willing to promote. If you're someone who like promotes stuff on Instagram, I don't know if you are, or just like in general, just like make it known that you wouldn't talk about a product or something that you didn't genuinely love and that you didn't genuinely, you know, feel passionate about. I think that's something that's really important because you see so many people just doing sponsored posts, ad posts, all that stuff on Instagram, and you know for a damn fact that they're not using any of the stuff that they're sponsoring. So the next thing is persistence. Right now, I know a lot of girls who are on this call just are very new to this business. Program your mind to know that setbacks and disappointments are a part of success. They are part of success. So it is never, and this is another thing, success is not linear. It's not, I made $10,000 this year. Next year, I'm going to make 20K. The next year, I'm making 50K. And the next year, I'm making 100K. Success is, I made 10K, then lost all of it and fucking shit hit the fan. My business plummeted. Then I had the best year of my life and made 150K. Then the next year, I made 100K. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never perfect. It's never going to be like just a straight line to success. And it's not that way for anyone. If you look up like even like big famous people, like who have like Steve Jobs, like their success stories, you will see that they were told no and had people turn down their business plans and tell them that they were stupid and silly and absolutely not, like 50 times before they ever were successful. And that's a big, big lesson is successful people are persistent as hell. They are persistent as hell. They do not stop at no. They hear no and they're like, okay, I'm going to the next person. That fueled the hell out of me. I heard no, I'm going to the next person. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to prove that person wrong. That's the difference between successful and unsuccessful people. They have the courage to push through those shitty times. I would say like, you know, every time I hear no, this is something I always tell my girls, like if I say I got on like a call with a potential for the business and I hear no, she's like, I'm not interested, not down. I never end my day on that note. I'm never like, all right, good, tried for the day, done. I like make a point to go sign up a girl in the business. By the end of the day, you push through those shitty times so that you can like come out on the other side, and then it feels better because you had to get through that little bit of resistance to get there. And that's anything in life. So the fourth thing is something we just talked about, so we're not going to go over it again, but just having a clear vision, removing distractions from your life, and making this a priority. And then the last trait of a successful business owner is being decisive and action-oriented. So successful people are quick decision makers. I can tell you from experience, the girls in this business who are really successful are the ones who like were ready to go with this. Like when they started, they were like, okay, I see the vision in this. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. I'm so excited. It's not the girls who wait week 3, week 4, and finally are like, okay, I'll put a little action into my business now. I'll start doing some things, and then, you know what I mean? It's like, they're quick decision makers, and not only just with like starting, but with decisions throughout their business. Like if someone's like, hey, do you want to host an event? Do you want to do this together? They're not going to sit on it for 3 days and get into their head and freak themselves out. They're just going to say yes and figure it out after. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, this is going to help me. Let's do it. I'm done. Let's go. Like that's what successful people do. And trust me, if you're someone like me who has anxiety and sucks at making quick decisions, develop that trait. I'm telling you, because if you don't give yourself the chance to get in your head, because that's a way of holding yourself accountable, guys. If you make that quick decision, plan it, make that plan with someone, you're held accountable. You have to fucking go through with it. You can't back out at that point, guys. So that's what I've had to do to myself to like make myself do the things that scare me. I've been asked to do like trainings in front of hundreds of girls in this business, and my number one fear is public speaking. And like what I'll do is I'll literally right away just say, yep, like right away. I'm just like, yes. And then immediately I'm like, oh God, did I really do that? Did I really just say yes to that? I half regret it, not gonna lie, but it feels better after I did it. And I know if I didn't make that quick decision, I would have talked myself out of it. So just being not afraid to just go for it, realizing that a lot of times you jump, the net appears after, you figure out how to do it along the way. There is literally, you guys, nothing in this world that there is not a solution to. There is a solution to every single problem, except for death, which is, let's not go there, but like literally business wise, there's a solution to every problem. So realize that you just need to, yes, confidently as well. Confidence is like the number one. I mean, if you're not putting yourself out there confidently for your business, it's super important. And if you guys need personal development for that, you guys know I got you. But I think that's all I have for this call. I have it recorded in case anyone missed the beginning or wants to. Tori, if you want to send it to your team, but I'll send it in my chat as well. But I hope that was helpful, guys. This is kind of like my favorite stuff to chat about with the business is mindset. And you guys know I could probably preach for another half hour. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, just send them in the group chat or text me. Bye, guys.